As you walk, bike, or drive along Highway 101 in Encinitas, it's easy to spot dozens of murals. But that wasn't always the case.
There wasn't murals around. I had the whole town, man. I did so many murals around here, down in Cardiff, everywhere.
Kevin Anderson would know. He's been a longtime North County resident and was one of the very first artists to paint murals in Encinitas. He explains how it all started.
1995, so what's that, almost 30 years? And I started right on D Street in Encinitas at a little Hawaiian restaurant, Keilani's. And that was my first mural in Encinitas.
His work hasn't slowed down since. The 66-year-old is constantly creating private and public art pieces across North County. He stands in front of a large mural he recently painted in the Leucadia neighborhood and describes why public art pieces like his matter to a community.
They're like windows, beautiful windows to look through, that you see something that you don't see every day. It takes you out of the typical mindset of driving down the road. You're walking down the sidewalk and you're thinking of all your thoughts, and you look up and you see this giant mural and you just go, wow. It just takes you away for a minute.
There used to be just a few murals in Encinitas a decade ago. They've now blossomed into an abundance, with many public art pieces focused on the environment and different cultures.
As you go further down,
you can see them along Highway 101, some in plain sight, and others tucked away like hidden treasures.
He said he wanted to do some sort of memorial wall for them, and so that's what this is. And then his dog is Ollie, Zavishla.
Irene Pion is executive director of the Encinitas 101 Main Street Association. She says some of the murals started as a project to reduce crime in an alley. Over time, they helped make Encinitas into an arts hub.
Ultimately, what it has done, without us really knowing, is that it has really inspired a lot of artists, local artists that can do large murals like this, to come down and see downtown Encinitas as a location for art now.
But what spurred the push for more public art in the first place? Encinitas Friends of the Arts president, Naime Woodward, says it was one piece in particular back in 2011.
And then Surfing Madonna happened.
The mosaic showing the Virgin of Guadalupe surfing was originally installed under a public bridge on Highway 101. Woodward says it challenged the very notion of what is art versus graffiti, and it gave a voice to the artists in town.
It brought a lot of conversations in the community from every angle, and that was music to my ear. Very uncomfortable at times, but I think it catapulted the mural programs, and it just, again, put Encinitas on the map.
In the decade plus that followed Surfing Madonna, there's been a wide range of new artists coloring Encinitas, which is a welcome change for the seasoned veteran Anderson. He says watching the growth of public art in his hometown has brought him great joy.
If you look around Encinitas now, everywhere you look, there's murals. And a lot of them are painted. So in the last, 10 years? They've grown exponentially. It's become something.
There have been some creations that have stirred up emotions and controversy. A few public art pieces in town, like the Surfing Madonna, received a lot of pushback.
Some of them were offended because they couldn't figure out why Mother Mary or Guadalupe would be on a surf. But once it was explained, because Save the Ocean, that surfers are using and tapping into that divinity to save the ocean, they embraced it.
Pion says she wants even more murals in her town to further push its public art scene.
We do want to add more murals for sure, but we also want to be a lot more mindful of it, because the more and more murals you add, we want to be more purposeful of what they are and how it kind of sends or tells a story.
And Woodward wants to expand beyond murals.
But I do encourage people to see some of the sculptures, hopefully the ones that are going to go up on a temporary basis. There are 5 sculpture pads, they're coming.
After decades of work and countless brushstrokes, Anderson's vision for an art-filled city has arrived, weaving a large and tangible tapestry across his hometown. His influence is undeniable.
I wanted to live in a world where it was art was really important. and art meant something. And in a world where I could actually show people my art.
Now, his murals are spreading into other cities across San Diego and California. And with them comes a little bit of the essence of Encinitas. Jacob Aere, KPBS News.